Peace, family. Sabrina Sahara of Back to Natural here, reporting on a celestial historical event that I have literally been getting downloads about for years. They have been ramping up in the past couple of years, particularly since Jupiter and Saturn's great conjunction, winter solstice 2020. And the day has arrived. Tomorrow is 2/22/2022, the day that is believed to be Pluto's return for the United States of America. I am going to attempt to condense as much of this information as I can in ideally 15 minutes or less, because I do hope to post this on Instagram. Originally, I was not going to post it on Instagram, given the content, given the state of our world in regards to censorship and all of the mess in that regard. But given that today is the 21st of February and Nina Simone's birthday, one of my favorite alignments and quotes from her is in regards to what freedom means to her, which is no fear. It is a time where we truly do have to live our lives in alignment with freedom, with faith, and as a result, not giving in to fear and understanding and believing that fear is an illusion. And we do definitely have to hold the line and stand our ground and speak our truth. It is time. Timing is divine. So I try not to say that it's past time and that it is just now. The future is now. And when we have voice and when we have knowledge and we have beliefs, we do have to share them. So this is me sharing as informally, as organically, as authentically as possible about something that is potentially monumental, life-changing for this country and for the world at large. So, like I said, I have been downloading and getting channeling about this historic event for quite some time now. I've tried to condense it as I was putting my notes together. I constantly tell people and remind people that I am not an astrologer. I am an intuitive. I am an ancestral alchemist. I am a community curator. I do channel. I am a clairaudient, yada, yada, yada. But beyond the downloads and the dreams and the things that I hear ancestrally, I do my research. And as much as my source is source, I do like to delve into as many additional sources as possible. And it is always quite incredible to hear or get something and then do the research and get the alignment and get the confirmations from the information that was given. So in that process, I try to get all of this together to share, because this is all, the preemptive in regards to what is happening tomorrow for Back to Natural, for the community that I am blessed to be among with the queens and my soul tribe, and Ancestral Alchemy, which is a gathering that I started. This will be the third gathering that we're having, and I do these gatherings in alignment with thinking about ancestral alchemy, thinking about alignment with our ancestors, thinking about how they inspire our artistry, as well as thinking about aligning and venerating them through altars and different practices. It's important for us to start to go back to natural, back to our roots, and thinking about how our ancestors did things and how they were very much in alignment with the stars and with the planets. So again, going through all of this, I realized that I ended up having about 8 pages of notes. Again, a lot of automatic writing and scripting that I had to kind of decipher, a lot of voice notes and channeling information, and had to scribe it out. So I'm really going to try to get this in and stick to what I've condensed so that I can get that out. But all of that to say, there's a lot that I will not say in this video that will be posted because of the way the world is right now. And please do join myself and artist Cleesta Cotton and artist Tony Taylor tomorrow to 2222 for Ancestral Alchemy, and we're going to go in a little bit deeper, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, however many of you choose to join us, and just discuss this energy and how it translates through our artistry and the work that we do as intuitive artists. So I'm going to try to stick to these notes. So I'm going to be looking at the notes so I can get this in the next 10 minutes. I might be rattling stuff off, but it's just to, again, give whoever is potentially attending as much backstory, as much historical reference, as much energy overview as possible. But if there's anything more that you need, hit me up. But again, please do your research. Please look into this information. It is all absolutely there. I am an aggregator as much as I am a researcher, so I do pull from all of different sources, like I said, and try to compile it as easily as possible in some nuggets for you. But do your work, do your homework, and look into this very, very deep information. So right now we are in full moon energy in Leo. That is teaching us to remember that we are a constellation and that we are made of star stuff, and that it is our time to shed what is needed to be shed so that we can shine, so that we can totally be in alignment with our passion, with our purpose, and live that existence. To each one teach one, that energy. We are also dealing with Mars and Venus in conjunction, which is a beautiful energy in regards to divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together in harmony, cooperating with each other, having an alignment, having an integration, and that is within ourselves individually, as we are all masculine and divine feminine, as well as in terms of our counterparts and dynamics. So it's a beautiful time, very supportive energy. We've got Uranus and Jupiter. Uranus, the planet of awakening, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in sextile. And you hear the word, right? Yes. So that's very flirtatious energy. It's a very harmonious energy, very supportive energy, again, in regards to manifesting our biggest dreams, the things that we don't think, or we may be wondering, can I really make that happen? Yes, you can, especially now, and especially given that there are no retrogrades in the sky right now, during a year where every single planet is going retrograde, which does not happen every year. So very, very, very supportive, powerful energy to manifest between now and April 29th, when the next planet that goes into retrograde is none other than, you guessed it, Pluto. And now we are talking about Pluto's return in the United States of America. So what is the Pluto return? A Pluto, or any return of a planet, is when the planet makes a revolution around the sun, and wherever it is during a person's birth or a nation's birth, in this regard we're referring to the United States of America, it makes that revolution around the sun and then ends up back in that original place that it was when that person or that nation was born. In the case of Pluto, it takes an average of 246 to 248 years to make its revolution. So naturally, none of us in our lifetimes will ever experience another Pluto return, nor have we ever experienced a Pluto return. This will be America's first Pluto return. It is a young country, clearly. There are other nations that are older that have experienced Pluto returns, which I will delve into a little bit, and I'm already seeing that I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this information, because it just is what it is. But there are other nations, older nations, that have experienced Pluto returns, and I will just give a few historical references in regards to things that have happened in those instances to give us some correlation of what could happen for the United States of America. Pluto, again, being a very slow-moving planet, it doesn't mean that on 2/22/2022, all of a sudden, there's just going to be this combustion. Could be, however, but it could be over time, particularly over the next 8 years through these 20s, okay? So Pluto is the great revealer. Pluto is aligned with transformation, is aligned with birth and death and renewal and chaos and tower moments, and I'll go a little bit more into that. But again, this being Pluto's first return in the US and also in the sign of Capricorn, it's interesting energy specifically because of Capricorn as well. The technical start for the Pluto return was actually November 26th, 2008. The reason being that that's when Pluto actually went into the sign of Capricorn. That energy was during July 4th, 1776, when the United States of America was officially born. Major shifts that happened 2008, just for some backdrop so we can get an idea of, oh wow, things really did start to shift in 2008, and look at where we are 2022 and what has happened between now and then, what started it off. Barack Obama became our first Black president of the United States. The housing crash happened, the Great Recession obviously is what led to that. Troops were starting to be withdrawn from the Iraq War. War on terror in Afghanistan made that shift in. It was the highest unemployment rate since 1992. Major drops in the stock market, the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme scandal and his arrest and charges for that, which was the largest Ponzi scheme in history. So again, a lot of things changed, a lot of transformation, a lot of things revealed, a lot of, drops in what was considered to be really, really strong and solid, for example. So 2/22/22, however, is the date that marks the exact degree in Capricorn that Pluto was July 4th, 1776. So that's how slow, for example, that Pluto is going through its revolution. But yet how much very, very expansive change and transformation has happened since it first started its return into Capricorn through the United States. Capricorn's associations: infrastructure, financial institutions, economy, governing institutions and structures, capitalism. And then you've got Pluto in the second house for the United States, which also rules institutions, financials, material gains, structures, and systems. So you have this kind of double whammy energy happening with Capricorn and the second house in terms of where Pluto is in the United States, second house. So energy is magnified with Pluto's return being in Capricorn. Pluto associations: death, rebirth, renewal, transformation, karma, atonement, accountability, change, destroys what no longer serves, creates new paths forward, secrets, mysteries, revelations, and aligns with the Orisha Oya, which Oya is the winds of change. Oya is death and rebirth. Oya is those tower moments. She is the one that comes through and literally sweeps the rug right from under you, takes trees down from the top down to make the shift for what is supposed to be, to take away what no longer serves. So very, very powerful alignment, especially considering that our last ancestral alchemy was in honor of Oya with her feast day 2/2/2022. The numbers don't lie. The associations are what they are. Very, very powerful. And it's important for us to, when we hear as above, so below, that we don't just look at it as yet another cliche. Very, very important. Pluto's heart, if you saw one of my recent posts, that there is a heart-shaped frozen lake of nitrogen on Pluto, which also aligns with Oya because the freezing and unfreezing that happens with that lake creates this wind that covers the surface and just, moves around Pluto, which again aligns with Oya, given the fact that Oya is the actual wind, is the breath of life, is birth and death and rebirth and the winds of change. I'm going to have to do a part 2 and go into Pluto's return and talk about that a little bit more, as well as historical references. I'm going to be also discussing in part 2 the better way of life that could be coming for us through this destruction and this tower moment that is necessary for there to be a new way, how to prepare for it, and then more details on joining us, hopefully, for Ancestral Alchemy. So please check out part 2 coming up next. And in the meantime and in between time, lest we forget, Time to get back to natural. See you soon.